It was 2 in the morning when she set the phone down on the counter, both hands flat beside it, staring at a screen gone dark. The house was quiet except for the refrigerator humming and her own breath, which she was trying to slow down. She had already decided, somewhere around midnight, that nothing was going to change. Not her husband's silence, not the diagnosis, not the ache that had settled into her like weather. And yet something made her stay standing there instead of walking back to bed. That small decision mattered more than she knew. My beloved child, before you go any further tonight, give me one quiet minute. I heard the thought that crossed your mind before you found this. Some version of it sounds like, nothing is going to change tonight. Not really, not for me. I am not offended by that thought. I have heard it before. In kitchens at 2 in the morning, in hospital hallways under fluorescent light, in cars parked outside houses people were afraid to walk into. Let me tell you plainly what I mean by miracle, so you don't carry the wrong expectation into tonight. I am not promising the test results will change by morning. I am not promising the phone will ring with the call you've been waiting for. Sometimes I move that way. More often, the miracle I bring first is smaller and steadier. Peace where there has only been dread. Strength returning to a body running on empty. Courage for one honest step tomorrow that you could not take today. Do not dismiss a quiet miracle because it did not arrive with thunder. I have watched you for a long time. I saw you this morning, doing what you always do, taking care of what needed taking care of, saying the right things while something heavier sat underneath, something you didn't say out loud to anyone. I saw the moment your shoulders dropped when you thought no one was looking. I was looking. I am always watching you, the way a father watches his child cross a street he knows is dangerous. Close, ready to move. You have been tired in a way sleep does not fix. That kind of tired settles into the bones after months of holding something together by yourself. You have prayed more than you could count. Some prayers came out angry. Some came out as a whisper in the dark. Some you never finished, because the words ran out before the feeling did. I heard every one of them, finished or not. There have been nights you wondered if I was even listening. I understand why. Silence can feel like absence when you are the one waiting, but I have never left the room, not once, not even on the nights you were sure I had. Tonight will not look like every other night you have sat with this. Stay with me. Let me sit with you in the middle of what hurts, instead of you carrying it alone into tomorrow. You have run the same worry through your mind so many times it has worn a groove there, the way a path wears through a field, until the grass stops growing back. I see that groove. I know how tired you are of walking it. I am not asking you to have every answer by morning. I am not asking you to force a smile you don't feel. What I am asking is smaller than that, and harder. Stop running from stillness. Just for these next few minutes, something has been forming in your life longer than you realize. You may have missed it, because you were watching for something loud, while I was working somewhere quiet. Stay a little longer. What I want to show you next is not what you expect a miracle to look like at all. You have an idea of what a miracle looks like. Sudden, undeniable. The phone call that changes everything in one sentence. I understand why. That is how these stories get told once they are finished. But most of what I do does not begin with thunder. It begins in the dark, underground, where no one is watching. Think of a seed. Before anything green breaks the soil, there are days where the ground looks exactly the same as yesterday. If you judge only by the surface, you would think the seed had failed. But underneath, roots are forming. Something alive is preparing for a moment it does not need to see coming, because it trusts what it was made for. You are in that season now. You have been looking at the surface, the relationship that hasn't healed, the body that still hurts the same, and you have quietly decided the ground is empty. That decision is not accurate. You are not buried, you are planted. Consider the dawn. It does not arrive all at once. Long before you notice the sky changing, The earth has already been turning toward the sun. The light is coming before you have proof of it. This is how I most often work. The turning begins before you can see that it has. Do you remember Elijah, hiding on the mountain, waiting for me the way he expected? Wind tore the rocks apart. I was not in the wind. The ground shook. I was not in the earthquake. Fire lit the mountainside. I was not in the fire. Then came a sound so quiet the old words simply call it a whisper. That is where he found me. You have been waiting for wind and fire too. I have been present the whole time in the whisper. In the moment you almost gave up but kept going one more day. You may have mistaken my whisper for a passing thought of your own. What you call nothing is happening may be the very place where something already is. The soil is not lifeless. There is movement beneath the surface you were never meant to see while it was still underground. I am not asking you to manufacture hope about a future you cannot verify tonight. I am asking you to reconsider what you have been calling nothing. The waiting is where roots grow deep enough to hold up what comes later. A tree that grows too fast falls in the first real storm. I am building something in you that can stand. Come closer for a moment. I want to show you something you have been carrying quietly, something you have never said out loud to another person. You do not need to explain yourself to me. I already know what you have been asking for, the version you say in front of other people, and the real one, the one you only say in the car with the radio off, or lying awake at 3 in the morning when the house has gone quiet. Do you remember the woman who bled for 12 years? Worn down, having spent everything on doctors who could not help her, a little more invisible every year. When she heard I was passing through, she did not wait for an introduction. She got low, moved through the crowd, and reached out just far enough to touch the edge of my robe. I felt it. Not only the touch, but the 12 years behind it. I stopped, in a crowd pressing from every side, because that one reach mattered more to me than the noise around it. I did not say, "Your touch healed you." I said, "Your faith made you well." It was never about the fabric. It was a woman who, after 12 years, still reached one more time. Someone listening tonight has been asking me for healing, not the kind that resolves neatly, the slow kind, where you go from one appointment to the next and try not to let hope rise too high, because hope, disappointed enough times, starts to feel dangerous. Someone else is asking me to repair a family gone quiet, a parent and a child who haven't spoken in longer than either wants to admit, a phone that could be picked up tonight on either end and isn't. Someone is only asking for one ordinary night of rest, a mind that stops running long enough to sleep, a chest that doesn't tighten the moment it wakes. I know each of these prayers by name, even the ones you never named yourself. You do not have to perform your pain for me to notice it. I heard it before you finished the sentence in your own mind. Here is what I want you to hear tonight. While I work in your circumstances, I am also healing what the waiting has wounded inside you. One does not wait on the other. Do you remember the blind man on the side of the road, the one everyone had grown used to stepping around? When he heard I was near, he called out. They told him to be quiet. He called out louder. I stopped for him. I asked him what he wanted me to do, though it seemed obvious to everyone standing there. I asked because I wanted him to say it himself, without shame. I am asking you the same question tonight, not because I don't know the answer, because I want you to stop swallowing the request. Say it, even only in your mind. Tell me plainly what you have been carrying. I have not forgotten you in the waiting. I have not lost your prayer in the sheer number of people calling out to me at once. You are not one voice lost in a crowd. I know your name the way a parent knows their child's voice among 100 others. Some of you stopped asking, because the asking itself started to hurt. I would rather you keep reaching, imperfectly, than stop because the wait grew long. The woman did not know the moment healing would come. She only knew she was done not reaching. You have named it now, at least to yourself. Come with me a little further. I want to show you what to do with the fear wrapped around it. For a long time you have held on so tightly your hands started to ache, and you stopped noticing, because the ache became normal. You call it responsibility, you call it strength. Some of it is, but some of what you carry was never meant to be carried alone, and somewhere in you, you already know that. You have believed, without deciding to believe it, that if you loosen your grip for even a moment, everything falls apart. That belief has kept you exhausted in a way sleep cannot touch. It isn't your body that's tired tonight, it's your grip. I am not asking you to stop caring. I am asking you to open your hands instead of clenching them. Closed hands can hold on to what's already there. They cannot receive anything new. Do you remember the two sisters? One moved through her kitchen all afternoon, making sure everything was right for the guests in her home. Her sister sat on the floor near me instead, listening. The first sister came to me, frustrated, asking why I didn't send her sister to help. I didn't dismiss her love for hospitality. I told her, gently, that she was anxious about many things, when only one thing mattered, and her sister had chosen it. There is a difference between serving out of love and gripping out of fear. I think you already know which one has been driving you. Do you remember the boy with 5 loaves and 2 small fish, standing in a crowd of thousands? It was nothing. Anyone could see it was nothing. But he offered it anyway. He didn't hide it out of shame. He handed it over, small as it was, and I made it more than enough, with baskets left when everyone had eaten. Most people, holding 5 loaves and 2 fish, keep them hidden instead. He gave what he had instead of apologizing for it. That is what I am asking of you. Not more than you have, just what you have, offered honestly. You have been treating your unfinished situation like it depends entirely on your grip, your health, your child, your marriage. Even if your hands are trembling right now, open them anyway. I am not waiting for a perfect surrender. I will meet you in the first honest movement toward trust, however small. Opening your hands does not mean giving up. It means saying, honestly, I have done what I can do, and I am placing the rest here, with you. It means sleeping tonight without running the same worry through your mind for the 100th time, because you decided, just for tonight, to stop carrying what was never yours to carry alone. I know why this is hard for you. You learned somewhere that if you didn't hold everything together, no one else would. I understand where that came from. But you have never been as alone in this as it is felt. Do this now, wherever you are. Open your hands. Let your palms turn upward. Name the first burden, the one sitting heaviest tonight. Do not explain it to me. Just place it here. Now breathe. You are not abandoning it. You are moving it out of your fear and into my care. Stay in this a moment. Do not rush past it. Your hands are open now. Before you sleep, there is one more thing I want to place in them. I will not ask you to measure my faithfulness by whether every circumstance has changed by morning. Some miracles happen in a single moment. Others begin as a seed beneath the soil, doing their work in the dark before anyone can see them. Both are still mine. You may not see everything different when you wake up. That's all right. I have already begun something good in you. Not something I'm considering starting. Something already underway. I do not start things I intend to leave unfinished. I finish what I begin. Let that be enough tonight. You have spent so long trying to see the whole picture before you'd let yourself rest. Tonight, rest first, and let the picture reveal itself in its own time. Sleep in peace. Not the peace of having every answer, but the peace of trusting the one who holds the answers even when you don't. I am present in the middle of it, awake while you sleep, watching over the very things you were too afraid to set down until a few minutes ago. I will keep watch tonight, over your health, over your family, over the parts of your story still unfinished. That was never supposed to be your job alone. The woman I told you about at the beginning, standing in her kitchen at 2 in the morning, did not wake to a different diagnosis. Her husband did not suddenly know what to say, but she slept without fear for the first time in months. That was where her miracle began. When this message started, your hands were closed tight around tomorrow. They are open now. Don't call that nothing. Peace finding its way into a frightened heart is one of the quiet miracles I do most often, even when no one else sees it happen. I am with you tonight. I have not left your side, and I am not planning to start now. Whatever tomorrow holds, you will not walk through it without me. Close your eyes knowing this. You are seen completely. You are known in ways no one else could fully understand. And you are loved, not for what you can offer, but simply because you are mine. Rest now, my beloved child. Sleep knowing you no longer have to hold tomorrow with closed hands. I am with you through the night, and I will still be here when morning comes. Stay, rest, breathe. I'm here. If this message brought you some peace tonight, you're welcome to share where you're listening from, or simply leave the word Amen below as a quiet way of saying it reached you. If someone in your life is carrying something heavy in silence, you might consider sending this to them tonight. And if these stories mean something to you, stay close. There's more comfort coming, and I'd hate for you to miss it.